There isn't much out there that pisses me off more than people who like to make issues out of things that aren't actually issues.
Spoiler alert, what he is doing right now.
For those that are unaware, a YouTuber by the name of Mr. Hyrule Gamer recently uploaded a video titled The Problems with Speedrunning. Unlike the controversial Death of Speedrunning video by Apollo Legend, which probably could have had a valid argument to it, here Mr. Hyrule Gamer just seems to want to paint the speedrunning community in a negative light.
Or just have fair criticisms about it.
From all the clips in this video and other videos he's made, it seems that Mr. Hyrule Gamer's activity within the speedrunning community has likely never been more than watching Apollo Legend's Super Salty Speedrunners series and some of Games Done Quick, perhaps occasionally also watching a few top runners of some games.
What is stupider than a rant about speedrunning? Making a rant of a rant on speedrunning. For those unaware, a YouTuber called Realm Copier made a rant about speedrunning. He shows elitism, and in the beginning you can see he does similar tactics to gatekeeping.
So let's take a look.
Hey everyone, today I want to analyze why the speedrunning community is so fucked. I've seen a lot of comments on my videos asking why speedrunners are so cringe and just crazy overall. I've broken it down into 3 simple parts, so it should be pretty easy to follow along. Please know this is just my opinion, and I'm making this video mainly because people think I criticize and make fun of the community just because I'm a little bitch or something, and that's fine, you can think that, but honestly, I think there are huge issues in the speedrunning community that I've observed over fucking time. Yeah, let's just dive headfirst into it. Here we go. Holy shit.
My guess is that this super informal tone that he's taking is probably to make him sound like he's super cool and edgy or something.
Or that's just the way he talks, and wanted to inform people that it's just his opinion.
So part 1 is speedrunner mentality. Speedrunning in itself is a very antisocial activity, excluding going to events or streaming. Since speedrunning is so antisocial in its nature, it attracts a lot of people that have antisocial issues.
It seems he's probably confused antisocial personality disorder with forms of social anxiety and perfectly normal introversion. It might surprise you to learn that speedrunning isn't actually the only place in life that you'll find people who are introverted.
He wasn't suggesting everyone in speedrunning has a problem, it seemed like, but the fact that people with antisocial problems are attracted to speedrunning, which seems fair enough.
In combination with speedrunning, which is basically staring at a screen playing a video game doing the same thing over and over again for consecutive hours to try and get a better outcome each time, can get quite frustrating after a while.
This is wrong on so many levels. There are way more aspects to speedrunning than just actually doing runs. In a lot of speedruns, new strategies for beating the game are found very frequently, so the speedrun is ever changing. I don't think it's really fair to say that speedrunning is just doing the same thing over and over again.
But it often is. Look at Mario 64 speedruns throughout time, and you see people just becoming faster in such small ways that they basically are doing the exact same thing over and over again, trying to perfect it. Now, that sounds a little close to insanity.
There are also very significant random elements to a large majority of video games, and therefore many speedruns require constant quick thinking, which is not an easy skill to master.
On top of that, the majority of speedruns happen on twitch.tv, and with there being no tangible viewership for speedrunners to engage themselves in socially, there are no consequences for their social behavior except maybe their mom coming down into the basement to yell at them.
It's only 1 o'clock. And this is the weekend.
I don't care.
Of course you don't. You don't care about anything.
No, I don't care.
Here, he's also acting like getting frustrated is something exclusive to speedrunning.
Yes, but in retrospect, becoming super mad about something so trivial becomes a real problem. Many people break controllers and throw stuff around the room when they mess up in such a small part of a speedrun. It seems a little crazy.
It's not even exclusive to gaming in general, if we're being honest. Imagine investing hours upon hours into building a bookshelf or something like that, only for it to collapse when you actually put the books on it. You'd be pretty upset, right?
For some reason too, speedrunners seem to lack any sort of editing skills and have no interest in actually uploading content other than just streaming on Twitch TV. There's also this classic speedrunner style where the stream's in 360p, there's an obscure graphic covering a quarter of the screen, and they have like the shittiest headset mic that you can fucking imagine, like been stepped on 5 times or some shit. I believe these are the main reasons as to why potential people wanting to be a part of the speedrunning community are deterred. There's a lack of communication, there's a lack of explanation, there's a lack of content, there's so much that the speedrunning community is slacking in.
Where do I even begin with this? Sometimes people like doing things for themselves and don't actually give a shit about others. Not every speedrunner is obsessed with community growth and content creation because all they want to do is have a good time without feeling like they have some kind of pressure to give back to people. I'm also not sure if this guy was like born with a silver spoon in his mouth or whatever, but you might be shocked to learn that not everybody can afford professional recording equipment.
Oh, you're doing that now? Okay. Because I thought you were just complaining about him being a little bit edgy in the beginning of the video, that it seems like you forgot your own blade that was under the table, that, wow, nearly cut me on all that edge. Short story short, you were being edgy and a little hypocritical.
There might be a problem with stream quality, but this isn't a problem with speedrunning.
It pisses me off when people comment on my videos saying that, oh, the speedrunning community is so great, why am I tainting it? No, there are serious issues in the speedrunning community. It's damn impossible to learn a speedrun without someone that already knows how to speedrun the game teaching you, which is a serious problem. If you're trying to attract new people and get them more engaged in the speedrunning community and let it flourish, you have to fucking make content. You have to explain things. You have to communicate things. It's as simple as that.
I'm gonna let this tweet I saw from Fig describe this point for me. The only way to learn something is by being taught. That's why we have education systems put into place in every country around the world.
The loss of leadership is rather quick and to the point. People like Cosmo, Trihex, Siglemic, and Stivity Bobo were the anchors in the speedrunning community and really built it up into what it is now. They also played classic games loved by a lot of people: Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, Yoshi's Island, Banjo-Kazooie, and in that, they were also really good personalities and streamers, which brought in a lot of new people and made people interested in speedrunning. With these figures not speedrunning as much anymore, it creates a huge rift in the community, and it also paints it out to be much dull and much more cringy, and it lets these rage, less popular, less liked people to take the spotlight over them.
Speedrunning is no longer the small niche of gaming that it used to be. Nowadays, there are more than 6 partnered streamers who regularly stream speedruns. I don't think you can really argue that the speedrunning community now has anti-social gamers in the spotlight.
Sadly, that's not the case. The most cringy and awkward people become the forefront and become what the outside people see. And then people are rejected by the speedrunning community because they don't want to be a part of what they see.
Given that many of the runs performed at Games Done Quick still have very entertaining commentary that regularly impress over 100,000 people.
GDQ has huge problems when it comes to censorship and banning. See Bonesaw for more information.
Just because Siglemic and Narcissa are no longer interested in speedrunning to an audience of thousands does not mean that today's popular speedrunners are representing the speedrunning community poorly.
And last but not least is Games Done Quick. Games Done Quick is basically took everything I explained in part 1 and put it together in a community with thousands of people at an event streamed live to hundreds of thousands of people. What could go wrong? If anything, Games Done Quick has normalized the cringe and awkwardness and the oversaturation in the speedrunning community. Games Done Quick live streams a week straight of socially awkward nerds sitting in a convention in a hotel, speedrunning a game for hours upon hours while hundreds of thousands of people on Twitch are watching. Games Done Quick literally made one of the most infamous memes of speedrunning from the Chibi and Caveman situation.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
And then there was that crazy suicidal Crash Bandicoot runner the next year.
I swear I'm gonna become a psychopath and murder everybody one day.
And there's been so much more cringe that has happened in between and still happening at Games Done Quick. And what pisses me off the most is that Games Done Quick gets upset when an awkward moment happens or a cringe moment happens or something doesn't go the way that they plan. Like, are you kidding me? Look at your event. Look at the audience you're attracting and bringing in. You'd have to be crazy to think everything will go just fine. Just because Games Done Quick donates to charity does not mean that their stream or event shouldn't be criticized. You have to realize that in reality, Games Done Quick is one of the main reasons that the speedrunning community is the way it is.
His final point is a complete clusterfuck. How many live events have you watched that have gone off fine without a hitch? I quite regularly watch news programs on national television where one of the guest speakers has said something that creates a very awkward atmosphere within the studio. Tying this in with my earlier point about the fact that a large majority of speedrunners that perform runs at Games Done Quick are actually very entertaining and informative, it really felt like he was just clutching at straws at this point. The rest of this video is just him summarising why the speedrunning community is fucked according to him, with a little plug for his Breath of the Wild livestream because he's realised that his content is monotonous and uninteresting, and therefore creating controversial content is about the only way that he's actually able to attract an audience. The real problems with speedrunning are people like Mr. Hyrule Gamer and others who like to take the very small percentage of people who do create issues within the speedrunning community and manipulate them to seem like they're fact.
But it's still fair to criticize. You can tell Realm Copier, the maker of that video, is just a streamer who is not getting enough attention and is trying to get more viewers by banking off a YouTuber who is becoming more popular day by day. And if he did more research and knew more about the speedrunning community, then he probably would have had a fairer assessment and understood more of the points given, but sadly he doesn't do that. And he would have seen that many of the points that Mr. Hyrule Gamer makes are problems.